After a lawsuit and pressure from private interest groups, the United States Justice Department finally released its 617-page report, which discusses in some detail the fact that after World War II, the American government brought in a large number of Nazi scientists into the United States and either employed them or used them in some manner in developing scientific techniques and conducting some very what we might consider far-out scientific experiments on American soldiers. If the so-called greatest generation would do this to our country, the question would be now, what would the government that we presently have do to us? And it all goes to highlight what those who founded this country warned us, and that is, as James Madison, who authored the Bill of Rights, said, we ought to mistrust all those in power. Take Operation Paperclip, for example. In 1945, President Harry Truman authorized bringing some scientists into the country, but he was very specific. They were not to bring any kind of Nazis into the United States that had nefarious past. Unfortunately, the CIA and the other intelligence agencies ignored this command by the president and brought in scientists that were actually, believe it or not, connected to the Holocaust. Besides bringing scientists that were former SS agents who worked in the hierarchy very close to Adolf Hitler, scientists connected to the concentration camps and the Holocaust, they brought in scientists that had actually developed so-called mental and mind research techniques. What emerged out of this was a program called MK Ultra, which if you go to various websites, you can read various interpretations of this program. But one of the programs actually took 7,000, at least we know this, at least 7,000 American soldiers and experimented on them. Some soldiers were given far-out drugs like LSD. Some of them were psychologically damaged. And these are people that did not know what was happening. One soldier said he was given a glass of water and asked to drink it. He didn't know what was in it. Turned out that it was LSD. He became violently ill and suffered mental problems for the rest of his life. Some may have even committed suicide. To be honest with you, the Justice Department report that we just received, the 617-page report, doesn't tell us a lot. It gives us some information. But what we do know is that these scientists basically filtered out throughout the United States, working for various governmental agencies, conducting experiments, helping develop rocket science, some things that were beneficial, but again, there's a moral problem of bringing Nazis into the country that were involved with the Holocaust. So where did this bring us at the end of the day? I think that many Americans blindly trust their government. If our government, again, as I said in the beginning of this program, would bring in Nazi scientists who would experiment on American soldiers, which they did on American soil, what would our government do to us now? We have to understand that to be good citizens, you have to follow the advice of the so-called founding fathers and be skeptical about what the government does, always being good citizens and challenging what government does and being mistrustful. That's the job of a good citizen. And, by the way, being a good patriot. If not, I'm afraid, folks, that as history tells us, the government will go as far as we let them go, and they only have the power that we give them.